Thousands of rallies and protests are happening across the country for International Labor Day, also called May Day. You're looking at folks in Chicago taking part in the May Day Strong rally. The rallies and marches called Workers Over Billionaires include no working, no school, and no shopping. In Missouri, union workers are also raising concerns about proposed tax changes. Hannah Falcon spoke to protesters at the University of Missouri about how their pay is affected by what lawmakers do in Jefferson City.
In honor of International Labor Day, which takes place on May 1st, protests are happening around the country, including several locations here in Missouri. Protesters are asking for many of the things that we've heard over and over again here in Missouri, including a fair taxing structure. Missouri unions are asking for fair wages and for those wages not to be spent on new sales taxes.
An increase in sales taxes is a cut to workers' take-home pay.
Union Rep Andrew Hutchinson is against a ballot measure to eliminate the income tax and swap it with new or higher sales taxes. He says it could hurt union workers at the University of Missouri by both increasing the amount they spend on taxes and harming funding for the places they work.
If state revenues start getting cut from the university and the hospital, it's working families in central Missouri who are going to feel those cuts.
I think the government should spend less and take less.
The man behind the ballot measure, Republican Representative Bishop Davidson, says it's the income tax that puts working class Missourians at a disadvantage.
The wealthiest among us almost never have income as we understand it and are barely affected by income taxes. But for the middle class and the person hoping to become a part of the middle class, income is the start of it all.
Missourians get to vote on the measure this year. A yes vote will instruct future lawmakers to eliminate the state income tax and give them 5 years to implement new sales taxes to replace the revenue. Reporting in Columbia, I'm Hannah Falcon.